Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest has been competing for 11 years, and he finally got the gold medal that he was looking for, his new IFBB Pro card at the Team Universe a couple weeks ago, and it's my honor to bring him here today. Shawn Lindo, welcome.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Big Johnny. Thank you.
This is a long time in the coming. I've been watching you come up the ranks. I remember when you won I believe it was the NPC Atlantic States back in 2013, and I said, this guy is going to be a good pro one day. And it took you a little while, but you finally got over that hump. You snagged the pro card by the skin of your teeth at this past NPC Team Universe, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And now you're an IFBB pro. How does it feel?
To be honest with you, I cannot describe the feel. I still can't. It's still. I feel like I'm every day since then that I got up, I'm living in a dream, and it just keeps on repeating itself. And it's great. It's great to say.
It's hard to explain to the average person who doesn't compete what it means to get IFBB Pro status, because even though there might be more opportunities today than there were maybe back in the 90s and early 2000s. There's a lot more people competing today also. So I guess you could say the ability to get a pro card is still very difficult. And I know we put a lot of money, effort, time, sacrifice into it. And when you finally get rewarded, it feels good. Shawn,
absolutely.
Shawn, I know you started in another organization. You switched over to the NPC in 2012. What prompted that decision?
What prompted that for me was I didn't feel like I was getting the look that I needed, given when I listened to the judges and the feedback that I got, to make the changes that I need to make to stand out. Even when I did so, I still feel like I still was lost in the shuffle, so to speak. On top of that, when I see other friends of mine in that same organization leave and go to the NPC, and they were making huge progress and getting places and getting the recognition and stuff like that. I look at it and I was kind of like, what am I still doing here? And as much as I love to compete, and we all love to compete one way or another, we want to get our just due, especially when we bring what is asked for us to bring.
Let's face it, I mean, we're egomaniacs at heart as bodybuilders, and we want recognition for what we're doing, what all the hard work we're doing, all the time we're putting into the gym, all the sacrifice we make, all the parties we give up, and all the events we don't go to, and all the sweets we don't eat because we're on such a strict contest diet. How many weeks did you prepare for the NPC Team Universe this year?
I got prepared, or weeks, you said, for about 10 weeks or so.
So you don't need to diet very long to get into shape then?
No. The good thing about my body and my metabolism is it doesn't take me long to get in shape, especially when I'm focused. I don't like to eat a lot of bad stuff as much as I post up stuff sometimes. I like to keep my diet relatively close to contest prep diet. It'll feel better and looks better, and I like that. If you feel good in your skin, it's going to just bring forth a different type of result. So I like to keep that way.
Now, you grew up in Jamaica until you were 14 years old, and I know Jamaica, the running is big there, sprinting. I mean, they get the best sprinters in the world there. How did you get introduced to bodybuilding? Was that after you left, or while you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Down in Jamaica, all I know was cricket, soccer, and track. That was it.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding, competing. To me, that was just like you speaking a different language that I cannot understand, and I'm looking at you like, what are you talking to me?
Now, when you were over there, were you running? Were you playing any of those sports that you mentioned?
Yeah, when I was in Jamaica, I was on the track team and I was also on the soccer team. So I was doing cardio pretty much every single day of my life, and that's why cardio doesn't faze me one bit.
Well, I mentioned that because I believe that a good sports background with a lot of cardio in it tends to lead to people later in life to have better metabolisms. I've seen it a lot, myself included. And people who aren't as athletic or as I guess you could say cardiovascular when they're younger tend to have trouble losing body fat.
You probably, again, it's like when you're a kid growing up and you've been taught a certain things, right? Those are the things you bought into and you adapt and carry those things. Most of them, at least, carry those things with you till here, right? So if that's one of them, I think it's going to help and carry you in a lot of different areas too. Correct?
Absolutely. Now, you won the Atlantic States in 2013. 2014, you had a great year. 5th place at the Nationals. You were 2nd at the USA Championships. I mean, everyone thought, all right, next year is Shawn's year. And then 2015 rolled around, and you didn't have the greatest year. What happened from 14 to 15?
So 2014, I was working with Marco Rivera from in New York. Trained together. We did everything together. Went out to Vegas, and it was great. We were, again, because the cardio effect that I have no problem doing cardio. I could lose weight easily. It's hard for me to gain weight. So we were going with the game plan to come in as best condition with some size, not knowing that run into Frank Stenson, I believe his name is, that end up winning my class. Which, by the way, he was afraid of Nick Trigili, and that's the reason why he ended up doing the heavyweight class, and it panned out for him, which is, I'm happy for him. Great guy, so that's good. The following year, I believe Marco was getting ready for the New York Pro, and he had a lot of different things going on. So our schedule just did not jive well with each other, and I went and worked with someone else, Matt Porter, which is another great guy, by the way. He had his people coming in really, really phenomenal. He got some pros underneath his belt. He was having me doing a lot of stuff that I never done before and stuff like that. And again, when someone doesn't understand your body type and you both are trying to make things work, sometimes it goes well and sometimes it does not. So I came into that show, again, really shredded and everything, but for the class that I was in, I was undersized. So I placed 9th at that show.
So it didn't work. It didn't work. So what did you do come 2000? Now you took the year off last year. What prompted that?
Man, without going full detail, I had so many different things going on in my life at that point where I don't like to waste time. I don't like to waste money. I don't like to waste anything if I can avoid from doing that. And the way how my life was going, my housing situation was terrible. Other areas of life was just not going as smooth as I wanted it to. So I said, what, I'm not going to waste my time in this. As much as I love competing, you got priority. You have to take care of the priorities that's really need to be attended to right now. So I said, I'm going to just push competing to the side for right now and focus on those things. So I took the year off.
Is that hard as a bodybuilder? Because I know when you want something bad, you want to put 100% into what you're doing. And I know even if you can't put 100%, it's like you still want, it's like going to Las Vegas and gambling. You want to try one more hand because you're so close you could taste it,
Especially when you were right there, you're pretty close. Yeah. The years that I came in, given 2015, I came in 9th. But besides that, you have that in the back of your mind, like I'm close. But then, like I said, the other part of our life that sometimes I don't think people acknowledge or talk about enough. The real aspect in things in your life comes to deal with them. Don't care how much you try to, not say overlook them, but put aside and focus on bodybuilding. Sometimes you just can't.
So how do you get past that difficult time in your life and get back to bodybuilding in 2017?
So I was living in New York, in Manhattan, and like I said, my housing situation was just like crazy. And
when you say your housing situation is crazy, what does that mean? Because people don't know. You're being very nonchalant about it. Tell us what happened.
I was living in Manhattan, Spanish Harlem. The building I was living in got bought out by some new owners, and they basically was trying to just kick everybody out. I tried to just do whatever they can to push people out. And I was living in a rent stabilized building, and I was one of those who understand the rights and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to get pushed out or give a little bit of change get out. So I fought it out with them, and I got the water turned off. I got the heat cut off. One of the coldest weeks in New York. I posted up on my page a while back, years ago, I was living there, and I had no heat. I was laying on the floor. I was basically sleeping on the floor with heaters around me, like people praying to keep me warm, because they cut off the hot water. They cut off.
How could they do that? I thought that's illegal.
Well, the thing, it is illegal, right? So what you could do, you could call 411, you could report it and stuff like that. They come by and they check, and what they do, they give those people ticket. These people that owned the building, they had a lot of money. So they would get these tickets would just pile up. And, even though you bring them into your house, what's the I don't remember her name, but she's the councilwoman for Spanish Harlem. She came by my apartment. She came and checked it out. And she was like, are you for real? This is where you live? I'm like, yeah, this is it. I'm not going to make me run away. So basically what they was trying to do, they were trying to force me out in different ways. Right. So that's enough. I can't deal with it. I'm out. So I wrote it out as best as I could, So I was doing that. I was in a relationship at the time that wasn't going so well, and the person I was with, she's great individual. She's really awesome, things like that. And so I had all those things going on, and it turned out that, we came to an agreement or understanding with the housing people and stuff like that, the people that bought the building. And I was like, you know what? I need to change. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this weather. I want to be in an environment where I'm going to be happy and stuff like that. So I had to make a move. I made a jump and moved to Florida by myself, just solo.
That's pretty cool. Hey, people don't realize, as a bodybuilder, stability in your life is super important. You have to worry about you have running water or heat. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I understand. I completely can relate to what you went through, because why should these mother effers,
right,
control your life? But I also understand moving to Florida, because I did the same thing. What part of Florida are you living in now?
I live in Delray Beach, Florida right now.
That's nice.
Palm Beach.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you moved to Florida, and now you get the itch to get back to the stage.
Right. So I moved here, and it's just freaking. It's part of my language. It's just really, really awesome. I love it here, and I got the weather here for me. I thrive underneath this type of weather, because again, I'm from Jamaica, so this is kind of like acclimated to, right. So I came here. I joined this gym, Palm Beach Fitness, and I just started to get back to the basics, working out and stuff like that. And I was like, this feels really good. And as you start working out, you start eating again, your body start to change, so people start seeing it. It's like, man, you look good, and da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it. And the more and more, also, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Muscle Leg. They're super awesome, because I was with them from up in New York, and I'm still with them down here. I'm working with them, and they send me the shows and stuff like that down here. So people would see me, and they was like, man, I remember seeing your pictures from New York, and da-da-da. I'm like, you look good. They're like, when are you going to do a show? When are you going to do a show? And I was like, I don't, just trying to get back into the swing of things and so forth. And seeing some of the shows and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get back into this. I can do this. Of course I could do this. I was, I got as far as I did, and now I'm in a better place. Why not? So I started to just get more and more into focusing and eating and training, twice a day, stuff like that. And I was at that gym, and I leave from that gym and I start going to Busybody, which is in Boca Raton.
Sure.
And in that gym, there's a good amount of pro there. You got Darren Charles, you got Dallas McCarver, all those, a bunch of the Blackstone people, all those Prime and all those, coming through. So the camaraderie and people like that, it just make you want, like, all right, I'm in the setting to get back to where I need to be. So all of that is a motivation that I use to push me to try more. So once that happened and I see like I'm close, I'm like, all right, I'm thinking I should do a show in the master category, my age. A lot of people think I'm 28, but I'm not. I'm 37 right now. Thank God for that.
You're still young.
Thank you, thank you. So I said, Team U, other than, was it, I think the Team National that happened a few months ago prior to Team U?
Yeah, Junior Nationals, you have the Junior
Yeah, right.
USA, and then you had the Masters Nationals coming up, obviously, this weekend. So.
Right. So I was like, I'm not going to do that one. So I said the next one is going to be Team U. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the Master. And I'm like, if I'm going to do that show, I might as well just take as much shot or chance that I got. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do the Open too. So I need to qualify for them. So I didn't tell anyone that I was going to, what show I was going to do. I kept everything wraps. And by the way, so I started to prep, and I did it by myself. But before that happened, I reached out to a couple of people. Hey, I'm thinking about getting back on stage and, doing a show. Would you people be interested in working with me? And some of them I didn't get a response back from. Some was very, I'm going to say, wishy-washy about it. One, I said, let me know what your cost is. And he said, all right, I'll let you know. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, I still would be interested in working with you. You still haven't let me know what your price is. I have some stuff I need to take care of. Still let me know what your price is, and we go from there. He never got back to me. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. Everything happened for a reason. Tell you what, I'm just going to run it. I'm going to take the ball in my hand. I'm going to take the last shot. I'm going to do it. I'll make it. Great. If I don't, great. But at least I know I'm going to give myself the whole shot. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to leave it into somebody else's hands to do it. I'm going to do it myself. Right. So I did this whole prep, and I said, I need to qualify for the Open. So the Miami Muscle was coming. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump. Just like that. Like I said, I didn't make an announcement. I just said it to myself and one other person that been pretty close to me down here since I got here. And the funny thing, like I said, I'm working for Muscle X. So I'm there to work the show and also to compete in the show.
Right. I
didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell Muscle X or anything. I just got prepared, did all the stuff that I need to do, and registered the show. When I went into weight and everything like that, a couple of people that were like, what are you doing here? I'm like, hanging out, just, getting my weight checked, just, what category. And they give me that look like they just saw a goat. I was like, you're competing in it? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. And thank God, again, so far I made a decision by myself. I did the show. It wasn't a lot of people in my class, but whatever. I just wanted to do that show just to get qualified for the Open. So I did the show, won my super heavy class, and I thought I should the overall, but hey, it didn't happen that way. In hindsight, guess what? I didn't win the overall, but I got my pro card, so I got the better win anyway.
So Shawn, you're up on stage. So you go to last weekend. You go to the Team Universe. There's 1,000 people plus in the show. You're in the 35 and over class plus the Open class, and obviously the 35 and over, you knew you had the best shot in that class. You compete. You hear your name called second, which you figure, man, no pro card. Chad Reed's getting the pro card. And then all of a sudden, they tell you, oh, Chad already got one in the class before you, so Shawn Lindo is going to get the second pro card here. What went through your mind when you heard that?
First of all, let me go back a little bit. So in the prejudge, if you don't mind, prejudge, I was in the first call out. Myself, Chad, and I don't remember the other person's name was in the first call out. They took us three off, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, see you guys later. And they left everybody else up and they called up the other group and whatnot. So all three of us walk off stage. And once we walk off stage, we all look at each other like what the hell? Like no one know where our replacement is. Because if we go by number, my number was the last number to be called out in the first call out. But my number was the first number to be called off to stay 3. So I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Right? You know how these things go.
Yeah.
So we all left and, whatnot. And I did the Open also. The Open turned out the way I did, whatnot. So we came back for the night show, and they tell us to get ready and stuff, and we in line. And I managed to look at one of the sheet back there, and I saw like what the placement was, and I'm like, darn it, second.
So you knew what placing you were getting before you even got out on stage.
Yes, because I saw the sheet. I was talking to someone.
That's the worst feeling.
Huh?
That's the worst feeling. You really must have been depressed going up there because you had to do your routine, right?
Man, so I'm like, all right, fine, calm down. they're still open. We don't know how that go, but they're still open. So there's still another shot. So they called us up on stage. We did our routine. Again, I didn't let that affect my performance and everything. I was like, I still got to give a good show no matter what. You still got to be sport about it no matter what. You put everything in. Enjoy. So I did a great routine. It was a little bit different than what I typically do, which is the mandatory and whatnot. You know, I kind of mix it up a little bit. So I was having fun. And they took us to the side and, you know, there's like, all right, they start calling up 5th, 4th, 3rd. And of course I knew 2nd. So put my hand up, you know, thank you and everything like that. And I walked over and it was so funny that the guy that was presenting the trophy was my muscle leg teammate. Yeah. He was like, I'm so proud of you, whatnot. And I'm like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But so I posted a video on my page. In the midst of it, I'm shaking his hand to say thank you. And I heard the young lady, the announcer, saying, she said my name. And I'm kind of like, what? Like, what did I do? Like, like, you know what I mean?
You didn't understand what happened, obviously. You just knew they were giving you a pro card for some reason.
Right. I'm like, I know I didn't get it. I'm like, all right. And so she said, and I'm like, if you could see the video, I have that look on my face like, what is this about?
So it was like a lottery ticket you won. Yeah, you didn't even know.
I have no clue whatsoever. I know I play second. In second, you don't get anything in second. So, all right, you know. And when she said what she said, my reaction was just like what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could have reacted any different than the way I did, and that all came from the back of my heart, because it was just like, did you just tell me what I think you just tell me?
Yeah.
You know? Crazy. And the greatest feeling about that is just the fact that I did all of this by myself. Yes, I didn't come first, but I did enough to make me play second. Right? That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, if Chad wasn't in that class, I would have been declared winner in that class.
Right.
So I did more than enough to place where I did to earn this pro card. So you asked me the earlier question, how does it feel? Again, I really can't, because there's so many different elements to it that I don't know how to describe it to.
I always say, look, you got to be at the right place at the right time, okay? It's all about destiny. And you know what? You picked the right show, the right class, it was the right time, you did everything you needed to do, and you got your pro card. You could have looked 20% better than this, gone to another show, and you might not have won and got the pro card. Or you might have won your class and not won the overall, whatever, however it worked. So you don't know sometimes. You got to just be in it to win it, and you did it. And so congratulations on that. It's a great story. You overcame some great odds from last year of what went on. You relocated all by yourself, and you did your prep by yourself. So this is, you deserve a huge pat on the back and a congratulations for a job well done. And it just goes to show, when you want something bad enough and you work hard enough, you get it.
Thank you so much. I agree with everything you said. Absolutely, that exactly what I put my head down. I didn't make a big deal about anything. I just grind out and, put myself in the best position. And you know what's funny? Being that I'm from New York and I was living in New York, the only time I ever competed in New York was in 2012 and 2014 when I 13 when I won the Atlantic State overall. Right. But besides that, I never competed in New York before.
Yeah.
So I move away to go back to get my pro card in New York.
Yeah, it's the old age-old irony.
And you know what they say? If you could make it in New York, you could make it anywhere else.
Yeah, you can make it there. You can make it anywhere. That's for sure. Well, congratulations on the big win. Any ideas when we might see you up on a IFBB Pro stage?
Thanks again. Appreciate it. I'm going to say probably maybe in 2 years. And the reason why I say that, because I want to enjoy this moment some more. And I don't want to rush and go on stage and not look presentable to be what I am now, a professional. When I do something, I want to do it to my best and my fullest ability. So I don't want to just rush to get lost in the shuffle. I want to stand out and bring a really great package for my friends, my fans, my sponsors, and overall just for myself.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on your pro debut. I predict it will be before 2 years, but let's see if I'm right or not. For now, though, we are out of time for another episode.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everyone.
Very welcome, man. All right. That'll take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Yamamoto Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and we'll see you next time.